All right, so we're gonna watch the scrimmage against the Hurricanes. Y'all are running the actions, and I want to let y'all see how close y'all are. But it's the small things. Remember the quote: "Once you understand the importance of small things, you realize there's no such thing as small things." So this is seemingly a small thing. We come off, great action, wide open. Darren has it, but drops the ball, so doesn't catch it. Now he has to rush. Now, instead of our good shooter getting a good shot, now they're off on a break. Okay. Now, luckily, we do good transition defense, but again, we're giving them opportunity. All right. So now we run zoom action again. These are all zoom actions at the beginning of the game. Now, I wouldn't say this is a small thing, but look, this action attracts a lot of attention. We call them traffic jams. Kids have to communicate. So we have wide open people already. Now, the only thing we can't do is turn it over. As we grow, DJ needs to be able to throw it over the top to Desmond. He could hook it back to Ethan. He can even hit Darren, because that's whose man that stole the ball. That's Darren's man that stole the ball. But we got to see that. We got to make each other better. So instead of getting it to any of those guys, we get a live ball turnover. And now they're going to get their first points of the game. Now notice, they're not scoring because they're scoring against our defense. They're scoring because of our offense and our live ball turnover. Let's look at this. They're in kind of this three-quarter court press. We get the ball now. If we can make a 0.5 decision now or pretty early, right when you catch the ball, Desmond's wide open. But we kind of have to dribble, so that's a skill thing. And because of that, we overthrow him, so now he's behind the backboard. So that could be 2 points because that's an opportunity gone. It's a small thing, but it matters. All right. Now here's the other thing that we have to grow at. We move the ball. That's great. Pump fake, get in the paint. Now look, we got DJ with his feet set. We got a kick out. So already we've missed 2 wide open kickouts to good shooters. All right. So we're not really scoring as a team and making each other better. We're scoring or trying to score as individuals. All right. So we got to learn to make other people better when we're looking at these sets. All right. So this is what we got to look at. We've run zoom action. This will be our 3rd time. And look what we get. We get here, create a traffic jam, we drive, we get a wide open layup. That's a great pass by Darren. So all 3 times it worked, but we only scored once. And that's what we got to understand is that, okay, what we're doing is right. We just got to execute a little better and consistently do what we just did here. Now we're running horns action. Now, already before he caught the ball, Ashton's running. So the lack of patience doesn't allow him to catch it where we want to. So since he's moving already, there's no space to throw it to him right there. That's where we want him to have the ball because we want the screen to be set at the elbow. But because of that, now he's caught in a spot where he's not comfortable. So now he got to dribble to actually score. And that's where we get in trouble because, again, it's the small things. Being patient enough to wait on your screens. And so now we don't get the types of looks that I think that we should start creating for each other. All right, so we're up 1-2 at the end of that timeout. Here we use the zoom action. Well, really just a dribble handoff. So we're running regular open to get a Barkley. So now we caught the ball there. And like I told you, it's tough to defend when the ball's in this spot. Because look at eyes. You either can see the ball or you see man. It's so tough to see both when the ball's that deep in the paint. So now we run. Now if we could wait, DJ is cutting wide open. All right. Because both defenders went to him because we're creating traffic jams off the ball. So instead of hitting DJ for an easy layup, we end up with the ball out there. So it's just some small reads that we got to figure out and make so we can make better plays. So again, at this point, you guys are executing. Y'all are getting better shots. I mean, nobody's within 6 feet of Ethan on this play. We just missed. But again, they get in transition, and that's the difference. It's not really a skill thing. It's more so, can you execute the things you're taught, and can you learn to do the details? And here's the thing. As y'all do more stuff, more actions that you see at the higher levels, you'll get better at them. Quick recap. The first play, we did a zoom action. Darren didn't catch it clean, so he didn't get a good shot up. The second play, DJ misreads the play, and it gets a live ball turnover. They get a bucket off of that. Third offensive possession, Darren gets in the paint, has DJ open. We don't hit him for that. The one after that, we do score. Darren gets to the paint, drops it off to Desmond. That's our only 2 points of the quarter. So we've gotten all these quality looks or attempts, but we hadn't capitalized. We do the horn set after that. We go all the way to the short corner instead of the block. And then we run a Barkley where DJ goes wide open. We didn't quite see him. And then we swing it to the other side. Ethan has an open look and misses. So quality of looks, y'all are getting everything, like literally everything you wanted. The only other look that I didn't put in there because it wasn't said is when they got in that press. If we threw the ball sooner or throw the ball a little shorter, he'd be in front of the basket. Desmond could have scored a layup. So right now, if you add those points up and you just say you would have missed, you only make 3 of them, you're still looking at 8 points right now. So let's watch defense. So now this is what we got to remember. Defense worked out too when we're in 1-3-1. Ball goes corner. You can't let him out of there. Then you get a trap and a turnover. But our habits aren't quite there. So Ethan, who's not quite used to wing yet, lets it go corner. Then he gets a second attempt to keep him in the corner. And then we let him dribble out the corner again. All right, so really, they don't have a great plan for the 1-3-1 right now because so few teams. So that's our turnover. So defensively, they're not able to score on y'all in this defense. All right, next possession on defense. Throw it over. We get the trap. Don't let them out of there. Get a jump ball. All right, again, these are all consecutive possessions. So they go, throw it right to us in the corner, another turnover. Now let's show you guys how they got their points. And this should actually kind of be uplifting because now you'll realize that it's just your fault. So turnover, live ball turnover. All right, they go to the line, hit the free throw. And then on this possession, we get a good look, wide open shot. All right. But we don't balance the floor defensively. So because they're a bit more athletic, they get downhill. All right. And like I said, DJ should have been back on defense. So now it's their ball on the baseline. So again, on that weak side, Darren, DJ both got to be back. If we're back, they set up their offense instead of dribbling out of bounds to get a baseline out of bounds play, which means you're like 5 feet from your rim. So Darren, there's nothing back here. You should, if you see it like this, you got to step in front of those guys. So since you're not, as soon as they get the ball, they just throw it right over for a tip in. So now they got 3 points for the quarter. All right, so right now, we got a guy behind the ball. DJ should just throw it behind him. They're in a press. But he crosses half court without having a plan. That's the coffin corner. As soon as he does that, now we're in trouble. So never cross half court until you have a plan. But because he doesn't, turnover. So live ball turnover. They get the ball. Our defense is not set. John, you got to be able to move over and help. All right? You know that Josh is going to look to drive. He gaps us. So now they get at the rim, offensive rebound. All right. And it's all led by a live ball turnover, though, because once a live ball happens, you don't have time to set your defense. And so now they got 1, 3, and now on the clock, you can see that it's 5-2 with 48 seconds left. We get a stop. Now we're here. We call for a screen. So we did take the last shot. That's good. But again, here comes live ball turnover. And right at the buzzer, they get all the way to the hole. Now, here's a couple things that's bad. Live ball turnover is bad because just if we don't even shoot, the score's 5-2 going and finish in the first quarter. But Darren isn't sprinting back. So since he's kind of lackadaisical running back, now his hips get turned. You can't defend that way. And unfortunately, we had 2 guys back. So you can't let him just gap both of y'all. We got to be a little more urgent when we get back in transition defense. And again, they score that right at the buzzer, and that's what gives them their last bucket. Just not urgent enough. So, like I said, it's bittersweet, meaning like y'all aren't playing to y'all's capabilities. And had you played to your capabilities, that team should only have maybe 1 or 3 points for this quarter. So, like I said, look at it like that. And make sure, like, as y'all go into this next tournament, you got to fix those things and quit shooting yourselves in the foot. You want teams to have to show up and beat you. You don't want to beat yourselves.